me and poker studying. What kind of a relationship do we have? I will let you know that right now, I'm not trying to get all that much better at poker. I did, for a very long time, do a lot of studying and a lot of improving in my poker game. And at this point, I'm in a position where my skill level makes me enough money to pay all my bills, all my taxes, and I still have savings at the end of the year. So I don't use every spare second I have anymore to study poker. Still do a little, but let's go back to the beginning. I started playing home games after the moneymaker effect. I was in 9th grade. October 2004 was our first home game. $5 freeze out. We didn't use the term freeze out, but that's what it was. I lost. It was winner take all, by the way. We didn't understand like payout structures. Next week, second place got his money back, first place got the rest. Another $5 freeze out, I lost again. I went into a panic. I couldn't just keep losing $5 every weekend for the rest of my life. So I had to do something about it, had to study somehow. I would take a deck of cards in the house, and at night, school was done, sports were done, dinner, homework was done. I would just deal out hands while I was sitting on the floor in the living room with the TV on. You know, I was watching or my parents were watching. I would just sit there dealing out hands. So I would deal out like 9 hands. First 2 were the blinds. Third hand, under the gun. I would flip those cards up and I would think, what would I do if I were under the gun with these cards? And whether it was fold or call or raise, go to the next. Say, you know, as an under the gun player, I raised. Well, now I look at the next guy's cards and I'm like, okay, if under the gun came in for a raise, how do I play these cards from the next position? And I would do that for every position, every hand, all night, for hours. It's funny that kind of keeping track of how many hands were being played and folded, my first analysis of my game after losing those 2 home games was that I was playing way too many hands. And after doing this on the floor in the living room for a little bit, I thought, all right, I should back it down to around 40%. I felt like 2 out of 5 was the number. 2 out of 5 hands were playable, and I was playing way too much, and I should only be playing about 40% of hands instead of probably like 75%, which is what I was playing. Which 40% is still a lot, but didn't realize it at the time. Then I got to the point where I could actually win home games. I remember the first one, I think I profited $60. I think it was $10 buy-in freeze out, and I got you know, first, second got his money back or made a small profit, and I won. So it was cool when I could beat home games. Then started playing online, and I was actually pretty poor at sit and goes. And sit and goes was really just myself. There was someone else, one other person in high school who was more into poker than me, and I would talk to him a little bit. He helped me probably more than anything. Got to the point where I could beat one table sit and goes, 18 mans, 45 mans, 90 player sit and goes. Didn't play the 180s a ton, but did a little bit. So I got to the point where I could win money online. And not a ton, but it was a big step up from losing, just like with the home games. Then I started playing live poker. And the biggest help, believe it or not, for live poker was 2+2. I was very active in the LLSNL subforum, live low stakes no limit. I would post hands, people would comment, other people posted their hands, anyone could comment. That helped me a lot in the live poker arena. And actually a friend of mine told me 2+2 changed owners fairly recently, and that subforum doesn't exist anymore. So I haven't logged in a very long time, but I was gonna say you could go check how many threads I've posted in that subforum, but I guess it doesn't exist anymore. Then, that was a big help when I started playing live poker. And anytime I kind of hit a bump, you know, I was like breaking even or losing, I started keeping my own hand histories. So I would play all night, and this started in Wisconsin. I would keep track of the big hands, the hands where I knew I was making mistakes, the hands where I felt I was improving, and I would go home and in a Word document, I would just create my own hand histories, which was really good because I lived so far from the casino. So I would think about the hand while I was playing it. I would think about the hand immediately after I played it, whether I played it well or not, or won or lost. Then I would think about it on the drive home, because it was 80 miles to get home. So I would think about it there. Then I would think about it while I was typing it into my hand history. And then usually about 2 weeks later, when I was like a little bit removed from it, I would think about it again. So I was able to get a lot of time thinking about each hand, doing it that way. And I did that a lot in Wisconsin. I did it a lot when I first moved to Vegas. And it's been on and off. Right now, I'm not doing it so much. Sometimes I keep track of kind of my thoughts throughout the day, like just how I felt, like mentally, not so much a rugged hand history, but in autumn 2020, I was keeping track of kind of my mindset each day, which was a big help, because I wasn't even sure seven-handed Maryland Live coming out of the quarantine, what that would be like, if I could win, if it would be fun. I wasn't sure what seven-handed would be like, so that helped me get through that stretch. And it wasn't a big deal. It's kind of annoying because you're short-handed almost all the time, but I was able to get through it. So apparently behind me, I just walked down 20 flights and I'm finally at the casino level. And there you go, that's my study. Not conventional, not just you know, hold the manager, spitting out leaks that I should fix. No charts, I've never been into that. I have used PokerStove and Equilab just to, you know, out of curiosity, kind of see what like an all-in EV was, but I didn't use that or Flopzilla, or I did use HUDs online for a very short time, didn't like it. So kind of just what felt right to me, what I thought would help, not necessarily the traditional training style. And I've gotten to the point where in the tightest, toughest games in the country, I can pay for everything I need and have money left over. So I feel pretty proud of how far I've come after panicking those first two freeze-out tournaments in high school where I thought I would never win.